helping physicians practice medicine.
Dr. McEnany will have the honor of installing Dr. Howard. As she is making her way to the lower podium, I'd like to recognize Dr. Katapodis to say a few words. Dr. Katapodis, you are recognized, sir.
Good morning. I'm proud to present to you our dear friend and colleague, Dr. Corey Howard, the 142nd president of the Florida Medical Association. We're all a big family and we know each other well, so I'm going to dispense with titles and move as follows. Corey has served 6 years as FMA Speaker and Vice Speaker. He is the chair of Florida's delegation to the American Medical Association, and he has actively been involved in policy making of organized medicine ever since he was a resident physician. He served as chair of the American Society of Internal Medicine resident section and is past president of the Collier Medical Society. Corey is trained in internal medicine, gastroenterology, and holds board certification in anti-aging, functional, and regenerative medicine. He completed fellowship training in metabolic nutritional medicine, and he is also a professionally trained plant-based cook and an author, having published his first novel, Chain Reaction, in 2016. Corey goes beyond traditional medical thinking to address the true root causes of patients' problems, their habits. He has a unique internal medicine, functional, and integrative medical practice and focuses on issues such as nutrition, fitness, sleep, stress, and environmental toxicities. He dives into the psychology of behaviors to empower others to break through personal barriers and take better control of their lives. He has worked tirelessly for many, many years at the AMA to have Florida's voice effectively heard in the AMA House of Delegates. And now he is running to be Vice Speaker of the AMA. We have a true leader in Corey, and I'm proud to present to you the 142nd president of the FMA. Corey, it's all yours. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Katapodis. I know. But before it's all yours, we need to actually make that formal. So, Dr. McEnany, you are recognized.
Yes. Thank you very much. It is my privilege to install Dr. Corey Howard as the 142nd president of the Florida Medical Association. Dr. Howard, you've already joined me. Dr. Gag Howard, I need you to join me as well on the podium. I'll have you hold that. Dr. Howard, please raise your right hand and place your left hand on the Bible. Please repeat after me. I solemnly swear that I shall carry out the duties.
I solemnly swear that I shall carry out the duties
of the office of President of the Florida Medical Association.
Of the office of President of the Florida Medical Association.
To the best of my ability.
To the best of my ability.
I promise my loyalty and dedication.
I promise my loyalty and dedication.
And will work in partnership with the physicians of this state.
And will work in partnership with the physicians of this state.
And I shall uphold the Constitution and the bylaws of the organization at all times.
And I shall uphold the Constitution and bylaws of this organization at all times.
And work to accomplish the goals of our mission, vision, and values.
And work to accomplish the goal of our mission, vision, and values.
To these duties and obligations, I pledge myself.
To these duties and obligations, I pledge myself.
Congratulations, Dr.
Thank
Howard.
You
are duly installed.
Thank you.
Gavel.
Gavel. All right.
A pin and a medallion.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. All right. Thank you, honey. Okay, dokie.
Now, here we go. First, let me get a little picture of everybody here. Have a little fun. I'll leave out these guys. I already know who they are. Good morning, everybody, friends and colleagues and guests. Was last night a blast or what? Did we have a good time last night? Yes. And for those who didn't attend, you really missed a great time. You can tell from my voice just a little bit that it was really loud. But I want to take this moment and just say how grateful I am to have this opportunity. To have the opportunity to be here in front of you, to have the opportunity to serve you. I am grateful for the support of my family, my wife Cindy, who was just up here, who is really the most loving, kind, generous physician, wife that you could ever, and friend that you could ever imagine. And my kids who grew up here at the FMA, no longer kids, two in college, one getting ready to graduate and one getting ready to graduate high school at the same time. That'll be interesting, right in between board meetings. And I'm grateful for my brother and sister-in-law who are here right up in the front, Bill and Kathy, for all their love and support as well. I want to take a moment to just thank the Collier County Medical Society for their never-ending support, and a lot of my mentors, including people up at the Frontier, Alan Harmon, Madeline Butler, Alan Pillersdorf, David Becker, Ralph Nobo, my buddy Steve Coleman, who came from Utah and surprised me yesterday. And I just want to say a special thanks to Dr. Paul Wallach, who's one of my first real mentors and helped me understand that anything is possible. I want to thank Dr. Cecil Wilson, who's in the room, and Yank Coble, because they were there at the very, very beginning of this journey for me. And a very special thanks to somebody who's not here, which is Alan Nelson, who gave me the first opportunity at a national level to be involved. And finally, thank you to all my special guests, including Dr. Barbara McEnany, a good friend and president of the AMA. We have our staff here from the office, Virginia and Diane, Virginia and Donna and Sarah, Max, and it's just great, and thank you. Today's a new day. It's a new day for our profession. It's a new day for the Florida Medical Association, and it's our time to ignite a new future in healthcare. Our profession has been under attack for many years. You see, as you know, physicians are easy targets because at the end of the day, we will do anything and everything that we can to help people, and people know that. That is why we do what we do and why we became who we are. That's right, who we are. Because being a physician is not just our job. It's not just what we do, what we go to work for. It's not just our profession. It is who we are. It is embedded into our DNA. It's what unifies us, and it is our strength. Healthcare is out of control. Our profession is seemingly on a downward spiral and evolving into something that it was never really intended to be, a commodity to be bought and sold like oil or orange futures. We're becoming pawns in the chess game known as healthcare, where the government and insurance companies tell us what we can do, what we can't do, how to move, and they try to dictate what we're worth. And doctors are always fearful of doing something wrong. We fear losing what we have spent a lifetime achieving. And we actually fear losing our identities. Now, there are many external pressures that we face on a regular basis. The pressure to see more people per day, the overwhelming new regulations that occur, new payment models, as you have heard recently, that promise something great. Now, you got to tell me how 1,400 pages of new regulations are going to make my life easier, and we should have a good talk. There are new documentation guidelines, but most of all, we're afraid of the loss of autonomy that we all face. These pressures are resulting in the largest numbers of physicians that not only feel burned out, but that are committing suicide. And we heard this many times this weekend. Yes, suicide. Physician rate of suicide is 28 to 40 per 100,000. The general population is 12. That's higher than the military, which is known to be a very
stressful job. In addition, depression is at an all-time high for residents and our students. And I ask you this question, is that the legacy that we want to leave for the next generation? Do we want to have a profession that becomes a job? Or is it something that we're called to do? Something that takes a lifetime of education and experience to achieve? Do we want to fall into that hypnotic paradigm that we're told what we can't do instead of looking at what is possible? Now imagine the day when you can use your best judgment based on your education and experience instead of the most recent double-blind placebo-controlled trial. Imagine the ability to truly practice both the art and science of medicine when you're helping your patients. Now, we need to break away from this hypnotic culture that tells us that we should be less than we can be. And now is the time for us to get together, truly become one voice, and create the future that we want. Imagine a world where physicians, us, we're in the driver's seat, where physicians work together as the most powerful and unifying voice in medicine, where physicians work together to build trusted relationships with organizations that affect our profession, where excellence in education, lifelong learning, and leadership training ensure physician competence and best practices, not a fictitious, contrived, antiquated testing system that does not promote the goal of lifelong learning, but negatively affects our ability to practice. That is the future that I want. Is that what you want? I think that's great, yes. Imagine a world where the interests of well-being of physicians is the top priority, and we're protected by addressing the root causes of our problems, namely the overwhelming bureaucracy and barriers to our autonomy, as we have heard throughout this entire weekend so far from Barbara McEnany and others, so that we are free to help our patients in the best way possible. Imagine a world where you are the public face of medicine and serve your communities by delivering the highest level of competent, compassionate care that is possible, and you're respected for it. Imagine a world where you are valued for not only what you do, but who you are, a healer. That world, those statements, those are the foundation of the Florida Medical Association, your organization, and our family. Now, our family is very important to me. It's extremely important to me. In fact, it is my top priority. I know the importance of family, of people loving you, supporting you no matter what, of actually knowing your act, but enjoying the show anyway. I'm blessed to have such a family, and I mentioned just a little bit ago that they're here today, and they make it possible for me to spend time with you, my FMA family. The FMA has been part of my family since residency, as you heard, through fellowship, as a young physician, a board member, and now as your president. And I'm grateful for the FMA for teaching me about leadership, how to work through problems, and how to come out as friends, and also how to look at the future and seeing what's in front of you and not always looking at the rearview mirror of what's coming towards you. The FMA looks at the possibilities of what can be, and carefully, working with all of us, creates a plan to help you do what you do best, practice medicine. The FMA is the main source of hope for our profession, a true beacon no matter what the weather is. Together, anything is possible. We're over 22,000 members strong, and I see room to improve our membership. Every physician in the state of Florida needs to be a member of the FMA, and you should be saying, I'm a member of the FMA. Why aren't you? We need to focus on what we have in common and embrace what makes us all unique. We need to look at the string that ties us together. We are physicians. That is who we are. Now, there are many issues that we can agree upon and others that we'll debate about, and we'll do it today. But at the end of the day, we are family. And all families know the importance of sticking together, riding out the storm, and emerging even better. The difficulties of today are like sailing against the wind. The path to move forward will not be a straight line. It will zigzag. But that's the way to move forward. Now, we can use these difficulties to propel us forward, or we can let them stop our progress, at which point we become those pawns in the healthcare system. And which do you prefer? How do we address the challenges of today and turn them into our opportunities? We will be your advocates and your voice at the state and national level. We will push for reforms that reduce regulations that affect your ability to choose how you want to practice, whether it be as an individual, a group, employee, academic, military, or any style that you choose. We will work to prove that there is value in your membership. Which practice style you choose is up to you. We're going to hold town hall meetings, bringing leaders together, have open and honest discussion throughout the years so that we can hear what you want to say, working proactively instead of reactively. We're going to promote lifelong learning and push against organizations that use that term lifelong learning as a buzzword to overly test and scrutinize you while taking precious time away from you, your families, your patients, anybody. That is a priority, yes. We will work towards improving your public image by increasing the awareness of what the importance of being an FMA physician is. We'll work to continue to fight for our profession. And to anyone that wants to practice our profession without going to medical school, I say, if you want to be a physician, go to medical school. We must be team leaders. And as leaders, we understand what it means to lead. Because of our strong interest as an organization to develop the leaders of tomorrow, we have dedicated significant resources in creating the Leadership Academy, in addition to many other opportunities to learn. Take advantage of those opportunities. We are dedicated to improving the health and wellness of physicians, and this year I'm creating a brand new task force on wellness for physicians to better understand this problem so that we can create solutions and work together for the health of all of us. In addition, as you may have already heard, your FMA is dedicated to looking at the root causes of chronic disease, and we just launched a joint venture with the Aetna Foundation, creating a Healthy Living Initiative. This is to help prevent and reverse the alarming trends of obesity in our state, which is now at 37.1%. 1 second. Just thought I'd remind everybody of Marco Rubio. A good friend of all of ours. Hey, look, if he can do it on TV, I can do it here. In either event, for this project, the FMA and Aetna have developed a healthy living toolkit that we can all use, give to your patients. It's a great way to start the conversation, help you decrease the amount of time you have to spend at that moment, and really engage them in what is and what are the root causes of the problems that we face for chronic diseases. I think that's exciting. Finally, I want to hear from you. I really do. I want to hear from your colleagues. What do you really want? You know, most people, when they're asked what they want, they don't tell you what they want. They tell you the reasons why they can't get what they want, or they tell you what they don't want. So tell me, what do you really want? If you tell me specifically, we can work towards solutions. It is time that we come together as physicians and be the healthcare leaders so that we are driving the car. President Lincoln said, the best way to create your future is to create it, or predict the future is to create it. Well, it's our time to create the future of medicine and the future of healthcare. When somebody in Tallahassee has a healthcare question, the first place they go is the premier organization representing all of us, the Florida Medical Association. I am 100% dedicated to improving our profession, but I cannot do it alone. I need all of you to be the champions of the Florida Medical Association and help us grow, help us become better, help us fight the fights worth fighting, and most of all, help us help you practice medicine. And I challenge each of you at this meeting right now to talk to 4 people when you get home. And inside your electronic package, you have a little spreadsheet that you can fill out, and you can send that right back to us. And you let them know the importance of your FMA and what it means to you and what it could mean to them. Let them know that your FMA is dedicated to making Florida a great place to practice medicine by helping to get rid of regulations and other barriers that come between you and your patients. Let them know that your FMA is working to improve the economic viability of all types of practice. Let them know that your FMA is dedicated to promoting public policies that reinforce your role as the team leader of the healthcare team and preserve the ability for you to be independent advocates for your patients. And finally, let them know that in order to be that powerful voice of change, we need to come together as physicians, as leaders, as moms, as dads, as teachers, and as people, so that we all can deliver the highest quality healthcare found anywhere in our United States. Thank you very much. Thank you.